know what I've got? I just gotta do what I do, and
Yep, it's already on.
Katie's with us, I see her. Can you hear me, Katie? Good, okay. I see with Stop, Michael. All right, I see everybody else. And last of all, I see me. That ain't good. Okay, you ready? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and call the, January 19, 2021 City Council meeting to order. Wish everybody a happy new year. This is the first council meeting of the year. It's good to see everybody, and I hope everybody is staying safe and healthy. Okay. My pledge girl's not here tonight.
Basketball practice.
Oh, yeah.
You brought up the wrong
Yeah,
one.
we're back.
First one back, she's gonna pick that, yeah.
Okay, and they're gonna start playing again Saturday?
Saturday, yeah.
I'll try to get up there and see them a little bit. Okay, if you'll bow with me, we'll have a word of prayer. Our dear Father, we're thankful for many blessings of life you give us, Lord. Thank you for another day and the opportunity to see another night. We're thankful that you brought us safely into this year, Lord, and we pray that you'll continue to bless these people that are willing to serve their community and bless their families. We pray that you'll continue to bless this community, Lord, as we, like everyone else, fight this disease that's out there, Lord, and we know that some have lost their lives even as late as today because of it. We pray that you'll be with those families, you know who they are. We pray that you'll be with them, strengthen them during their time of grief and mourning. We pray that you'll continue to bless the people of our community, continue to help us to hopefully make the proper decisions. And we ask that you go with us to forgive us all many sins. Amen. Okay, got 7 minutes from last year there, December 15.
You did? It's,
I thought it was on YouTube.
Let's do a search for YouTube.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
do
do
something
something
with it.
if you didn't know.
Would y'all like to approve the minutes?
I will,
Oh, y'all will what?
yeah.
I wasn't here.
You got an excuse. By the way, welcome to Jim Mahoney on his first meeting. Miss Laura's back for her second. She's now a veteran, no longer a rookie.
How about that?
And
would
then-
normally move to approve, but I wasn't there either.
Oh, okay.
I will make the motion that we approve minutes.
Well, you read those fast.
Well, I already looked at them.
Oh, okay. All right, got a motion with Christie to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second it. Saying Bass here.
Thank you. Any discussion on the minutes? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Y'all vote?
Approved.
Thank you.
Yes, I approve, yes.
That was mighty weak.
Yeah.
An hour there. I just gonna bring you on into the real world here. Okay, we do have one open seat for city council. And we need to elect that person tonight. To fill that seat, it would be the seat of Brandon Howard, who resigned in December. We've already elected a vice mayor to fill that capacity, and that's Randy Barrett Holden. And so now I sent out an email to everyone and outlined how I thought we should conduct the election. Is that okay with everybody that we do it that way?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do what? Is it okay with you? Okay. All right, then I'll open the floor for nominations for, to fill the unexpired term of Brandon Howard.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Hal Roberts.
Okay, hang on a second. Katie has nominated Michael Stoffel. All right, Jim, I heard you next.
I'd like to nominate Hal Roberts, please.
Okay. Jim nominates Hal Roberts. Katie, I don't know if you could have heard that or not.
I can't hear, so.
I'll try to do the best I can to let you know what's going on around the table here. Are there any other nominations?
I'll nominate Caleb Barrett.
All right, Christie has nominated Caleb Barrett. Okay, are there any other nominations? Any others? Okay, hearing none, we'll declare the nominations closed. And we'll call a roll and vote. Vote for the person of your choice. It will take 4 votes to be elected. And I will, we'll just go around the table and I'll treat Kate as being in the middle here. So, Jim, I'll start with you.
Hal, please.
Okay. Laura?
Hal Roberts.
Okay. Katie? Okay. I have 2 votes right now for Hal and 1 for Michael. I have, okay, now, Christie?
Caleb.
Okay, I have 1 for Caleb and Randy.
Hal,
Okay. Have 3 for Hal, 1 for Michael, and 1 for Caleb, and I will vote for Hal. That will give 4, and that will be the required number. Let me say this, if there's anybody listening with questions. The charter of the city of Watertown says that the mayor votes as a councilman. I don't have to, I can pass just like any of you can. But it goes on to say if there's a tie, I have to vote. So if there's anybody wondering why I'm voting, I voted last time too, as well. So, I thank everybody else for their interest. I know there was quite a bit of interest in town and talked to a couple of individuals about it. But Hal is elected and we'll need to administer the oath to him. You ready, Hal?
I'm ready.
You ready to go to work?
I've done this a few times, so I should remember, but I don't.
Seems like we did this about 2 years ago.
You got a copy, Mr. Mayor?
Hmm?
You got a copy of the oath?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Good.
It's a long one, too.
Go slow, I'm old.
And two, it's reading in front of the whistle. Okay. If you raise your right hand, I, and state your name,
I, Hal Roberts,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
and I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Tennessee,
the Constitution of the State of Tennessee,
and the Charter of Watertown, Tennessee,
and the Charter of Watertown, Tennessee,
and that as a member of the Board of Aldermen,
and that as a member of the Board of Aldermen,
I will in all elections
I will in all elections
vote without favor, partiality, or prejudice.
vote without favor, partiality, and all
Or prejudice.
prejudice,
And that I will not purpose
and I will not purpose
or assent to any ordinance,
or assent to any ordinance,
vote, or resolution
vote, or resolution
which shall appear to be injurious to the people,
which shall be injurious to the people,
or consent to any act or thing, or consent to any act
or
or thing
consent to any act or thing
whatsoever
that
that shall have a tendency
shall have a tendency
to oppress or abridge
to oppress or breach
the rights of the people,
the rights of the people,
and declared by the Charter of the City of Watertown
and declared by the Charter of the City of Watertown
and the Constitution of the state,
and the Constitution of the state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, sir. You will now need to sign this oath. When you are watching the inauguration tomorrow, if you do, you will note that the oath for president is not as long as this one.
Here. Where you want to sit?
Well, I was gonna say, since you're late to the game, you gotta find you a seat. It's all like being late for church, huh?
I'll just sit right here.
Okay. I wish to make a comment about that election, and that is this. Everybody that was nominated and another that is here present tonight would have made a good council person. I have no problem with that. My vote with Hal was based on the fact that he ran last time and he finished fourth in a three-person field. And it seemed logical to me to give him the first shot at it. So, in any event, don't need to know why or how you voted, but I did feel that way. So.
I'd like to second that too. I know that wasn't a motion, but there were several names that I felt really good about voting had there been
Yep.
more spaces available. But I also feel that he ran and has served before here and was a good choice.
We had a lot of good people that could have filled this seat. We had a lot more that did not submit themselves for nomination. I hope in the future we will see more people throw that hat in the ring. All right, we'll go to public business, and nobody has contacted me about anything in the public, but Randy, I think you had something you wanted to bring up.
Yes, so I have been contacted by a young lady that is a student at Watertown High School. Her name is Rayanne Green, and she is a member of Girl Scout Troop 1944. Where's our cameras at? Back here?
One up there.
I will pass this map around if you guys would like to look at it. The Girl Scout version of the Boys Eagle Scout is what we are talking about here, and we have several Eagle Scout projects around our city, many in the park here, and maybe you ladies can help me out. Do we have a Gold Award project here in Watertown?
Have a what?
Do we have, has anybody done the girls' version, the Gold Award? Do we have a project here
No.
for that in Watertown? So this could be our first.
It could.
So I'll just read this. She sent this to me through email. She said, her goal is to add something to my hometown of Watertown. I'd like to add a wooden swinging bench seat as indicated by the map. I would like to put this under the big tree in the back of the park so that parents, teens, and kids alike can enjoy the scenery of the park. If this is approved, I would like to begin work immediately with my Girl Scout leader. I would like to have the bench ready for everyone to enjoy before summer. This would be for my Gold Award in Girl Scouts, which is similar to the Eagle Scout Award for Boy Scouts. And I'm reading this on behalf of Rayanne Green.
Okay, Katie, Randy has brought to our attention, I turned this microphone on, I doubt it helped. But the, young lady here in town, the high school, Rayanne Green, is, getting her Gold Award, is that what it's called?
Gold Award is what I have in the email, yes, sir.
Gold Award and through the, Girl Scouts of America, and that is the, companion
Equivalency.
thing to the boys Eagle Scout. And we, Randy asked if we have had any girls do this. We have not. We have had several boys. We started with the late Joe Hall's sons doing the dugouts on the softball field. We have had the fountain out front here, the helipad in the back here on the back 40, for lack of a better term.
It's a
The
memorial.
Veterans Memorial,
Yeah.
yes. The two Welcome to Watertown signs on each end of town, and I know I'm leaving something out. We've had several, but these young men, I started calling them boys, that's not fair. These young men have added a lot to our community, and now we have a young woman who wants to do that in the park. So I would hope that we would bless this tonight. And my understanding is she wants to get started tomorrow. So
What is it that she wants to do?
she wants to construct a
Wooden swinging bench seat.
wooden swinging bench seat in the middle part of the park under the big tree back there. So I believe it would be between the baseball field and the playground, or somewhere in that area. So,
I would probably call it a porch shop.
so anyway, it'll be a nice addition to the park. And folks that come over here and walk and run out of breath, they can sit down. I know I never out here in the yard. Okay, you want to make that a form of a motion, man?
I would would love to.
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve this project for Ray and Green in the way that I read it to you. All I got.
All
I'd
right.
like to second that.
We got a second, we got a motion from Randy, Katie, and a second from Jim Mahoney to approve this project, and of course, it's done at no cost to the city. That's part of their, I guess, whatever award she's gonna get, the gold award or whatever, on the Eagle Scouts, they put the expense. So, we have a motion and a second, any further discussion?
Have we looked at the location she's proposing? I think we should make sure the location isn't in the way of mowing or moving equipment or anything like that. Which we do.
I can show you this drawing, Katie, I don't know if you can see that or not, I just know it's down in that area. I don't,
I can't see it at all.
okay, I'm sorry, I don't think it would interfere with mowing down there any more than anything else. Having asked Bob Morgan about it and everything, I feel fairly certain, with the love Bob has for children, he would not oppose this.
I think where that's gonna be put is just gravel and dirt, it's not much grass.
Do we need to
over there.
amend the motion
Yeah. no
that
motion.
we approve providing the location is suitable for the project,
Okay,
possibly?
Randy has moved to amend that motion to say that it's for approval, subject to the location being suitable for the project.
Sounds great.
You all right with that, a second, Jim? Okay. Further discussion?
Would we, how do we go about approving the location? Is that something that Bob would look at and then have him call me or have him let you know and one of you call me so that I can get in touch with her? Okay,
Bob would approve, but now he's on vacation the rest of this week. So it'll be the first week before we look at it.
Now, all this other equipment around the track where they've got exercise bars and whatever, that was never approved. We just went on and approved them putting it in.
yeah.
We didn't check with Bob or anything on that, so.
Do you feel like we need to check with Bob first?
No, we can do your motion. I think will work.
The original?
I can do Bob's not going to problem.
Motion to approve as is.
No.
Okay. Okay. Further discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Katie votes aye, it's unanimous. All right, we'll of course go around the table here in a few minutes, but I wanted to go ahead and get that in. I believe, Ray Ann Green is watching, hopefully she is. Can you tell, Ray?
I cannot.
Okay, anybody watching?
We have
Yes.
6.
Okay,
We've
So-
got a total of 16 people watching.
wow, okay,
I think I'm one of
it's
them.
almost a summer.
Yeah.
What do you say?
He said that at one time there were 15 people watching. I said, yeah, that's almost a sub. Okay, have we voted? We haven't.
We did vote for the park.
We did vote, everybody voted aye, okay. All right, let's move on to the police report before I get any more flustered than what I know. In the rotation tonight, the police would have been first. I think all of you got a copy of the reports. I think April sent them out Friday. We have the police department report there. I don't know if there's any questions about that. It looks like a fairly typical month. I don't see anything that jumps out at me too awfully serious. Unless you have some questions about that, we'll move on past that, but I do have one item I'm going to go ahead and bring up now, if that's okay.
Katie also has a question.
Who?
Katie.
I'm sorry, yes.
Are we all staffed up in the police department now? I know we were struggling for a while, to fill our seats.
We are, Katie, and what I'm about to bring up, I hope everybody will approve of. We are trying real hard to upgrade the professionalism of our police department. and I think we're making some progress with that. We have a lot of good new officers. I say new, they've been with us less than a year. But we have 2 that are ready to go to the academy. They're full-time employees, and of course, for remaining full-time police officers, do have to go to the academy and graduate. It's, I believe, an 8-week course. But John Wesley Lepter and James Tyler Caraway are preparing to enter the academy on Saturday. It's going to be my recommendation to you that we pay for their academy training, with the understanding that they will remain employed here at the City of Watertown for at least 2 years. And that way we recoup our investment. Now that, if they, of course, do some type of misconduct or don't do their job, they're subject to being dismissed. But if they should leave before 2 years, then they will have to pay part of that back to us, depending on when they leave. The cost is $3,100 each, so it will be $6,200. That's for each one, as I understand it, is $2,200 for the training and $900 for the food, because they have to stay there. They would sign an agreement with us, and this will allow them to get their certification if they successfully complete it. If they don't, of course, they won't be able to hang around. So that's my recommendation to you. That is not in your budget. I will bring you a budget amendment next month with putting that money in there, so our budget does not look out of whack, for lack of a better term. That's not exactly a professional term, but most folks around here will understand it. Yes.
Are they both going at the same time, and they're not able to work while they're at the academy?
They are not, and they're both going at the same time. I don't ever recall us having 2 go at the same time, but I'm told we can handle it. It goes back to your original question about staffing. We have enough part-time people that we can cover.
How long is the academy?
8 weeks, I believe. At one time earlier, it was 12 weeks, and I think they've shortened it to 8 the last few years. And I'm not sure whether they're going to Donaldson or whether they will be going to the one in East Tennessee. I'm not sure. I didn't ask that question, so I don't know the answer to that. But I think it'd be a good idea to send them, and I think it would be further a part of upgrading our police departments.
Question, Mr. Jennings.
Hang on a second. Yes, Jim has a question, okay?
The question is, how likely are we to recoup the money if they stay like 6 months and then decide to fly away?
2 choices. They would have to pay it voluntarily, or we would have to sue them, and based on a contract.
We did that many years ago.
We did, back when it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And it meant just as much to us then.
Yeah, and then do you recall how those cases turned out? Did the officers have to repay, or did?
I don't recall, Jim. I don't. I did get an email that the training is 9 weeks, and it will be at Walter State, which is in East Tennessee.
How many people do we have on the police force right now?
11 or 12, I believe. And I don't have my list with me.
So they could make it work by missing 2.
Yeah, I think they can do it. They think they can do it. Doesn't matter what I think, they think they can do it. All right. So that's my recommendation to you. We send these 2 guys to the Academy of Walter State in East Tennessee starting Saturday.
You need a motion?
I do.
I move that we support these officers going through the academy with the contractual amendment that they have to serve for the stated period, which I think was 2 years, or would have to repay the tuition and fees.
Okay, we have a motion, subject to them serving 2 years. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion from Katie, a second from Hal. Okay. Any further discussion on that? Let me add something. Katie, you moved, you were on the right side, now you're on the left side. I don't know what's happened. I have said for a couple of months that I intend to bring back a police pay plan to you. I didn't get it done this time. I really hope to bring it to you in February. I really wanted also to have a full complement of city council members before we consider it, so. Okay, further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay,
6-4, 1 against? Okay. Motion passes 6-4 with 1 against. Okay, let me go back. I was gonna bring that on the new business, I just moved it up. Sewer would have been our next report. You'll see there, Dale has given you some forms. He is conducting an industrial user survey in Watertown, and so, if you get any questions from anybody, that is what these forms are. That is required by our sewer use ordinance, and has to be reported to the state, I believe. The Dale handles all of that, so,
Right.
yes,
Do we know how many?
you cut out on it.
She muted it or something.
Do what?
She muted it.
Okay.
You back?
I'm back.
No, you're not. He said you're muting yourself. Are you doing that?
Not on purpose.
Okay, Grant, help me.
It's on my side, kind of control.
Yeah, here you do.
Okay. I just noticed that the very last page of that looked like it was supposed to have information filled in so that they knew where to mail it back to, and it wasn't filled in. I got mine, it had the return address, so that
Okay.
was fine. But for the people who have the really complicated one, like industry at the end, the return address is broken on the form.
Okay.
And so we may want to reach out to those people and let them know where to return.
If Dale is not watching tonight, I will see that he gets that message tomorrow. So that we can, I'm wondering if these were forms that he was giving y'all to review or look at, but if he's not with the mail, the return mail, we'll get that straightened out. That's good. I didn't see that one. I didn't read it word for word, but I didn't see it.
I'm having a terrible time here.
Okay, is that better?
thank you.
I've got my volume cranked.
Is that better? Okay. All right, I'll try to do better. Any other questions about sewer?
So this survey, just so that I'm understanding, there is certain parts of this for the homeowners, and there's certain parts that are for business owners?
Yeah, it's primarily for industrial, so it would be,
Because it's kind of lengthy, so.
yeah, it is.
So, okay. So this is not going to every mailbox?
No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
yes,
When it's my turn, I can't hear if somebody's talking or what's happening.
that's the reason I held up my finger. That's the reason I did that, okay.
I can't see your finger because it's slow.
Really? Okay.
I don't know if this is where you want us to ask them.
Sure.
End use
How long
permit
is she?
that you emailed on the 12th or the 2nd of December. I didn't see anything about it in the minutes from the December meeting. I didn't know if I missed the discussion.
About the postcard that we sent out?
No, the petition for permit appeal. And you sent an email with it, and you asked Dale what you were supposed to do with it, and Dale said
Yes.
he was quick to talk to you about it.
Uh,
Do you have an update?
I do.
We should talk about that here.
No, now's good. I have an old update. I followed up after I talked to Dale with Patrick Parker with the State Department of Environment and Conservation, and he told me to sit tight until he notifies. Basically, COVID's got everything going up. I shouldn't say everything, but a lot of things. So that's what Patrick told me, and that was back in Good question. Anybody else? Okay. The next one is the fire department report, and boy, it's got information in here. Good information, as you'll see on the second page there. Chief Hong has reported to us that they've been awarded a grant through Firehouse Subs for a total of $30,000 to buy extrication equipment, or what otherwise known as the Jaws of Life. And as I read this, y'all can read it as well, but I don't think we have to bid it. I think Firehouse Subs is gonna buy it and then give it to us, which is even better. We don't have to bid it. And then there's a grant there from Georgia Pacific for updating helmets and gloves and protective hoods. And then they have submitted a grant to the State Forestry Agency. And it's 100% grant. All these 100% grants. Firehouse Subs was $30,000, Georgia Pacific was $7,000, and we don't know how much the State Forestry will be. He says we've got 6 new members on the fire department, 3 that are certified and 3 that went through our in-house academy. And then he talks about how he's divided up his training so that nobody, we're not having large groups get together because of the virus. So Blake has given us a good report there, and then you just don't realize until we get these yearly reports how many calls they go out on in a year. But in 2020, they were on a total of 627 calls, 429 of which were medical. 36 vehicle accidents. No, 429 medical in the county, 125 in the city. And then 2 grass fires in the city, 9 grass fires in the county. And I don't see any, well, I guess fires and alarms in the county. I was looking for structure fires, so you didn't break it down. But in any event, our volunteer fire department does a very good job.
Very good, yes.
Yep.
I'm very proud of them.
And they have for many, many years, and they continue to improve. And I believe they'll be cooking fish again a week from Saturday night, I believe. No, 2 weeks from Saturday night. Yes.
I just wanted to say that the grant writing that they're doing is impressive and much appreciated.
Sure.
I used to write grants with the fire department a really long time ago, and with the police department too, back in the days. That's been some time.
Now they have-
And finding grants and writing grants, correcting the paperwork that needs, reports that the grants require is significant. But as you can see, it makes a really big difference, and I appreciate it.
Well noted. Speaking of grants, that kind of, unless you have a question about the fire department, that kind of moves me into my first item of whole business, and that is an update on the turntable. We are having a committee meeting a week from today at 2:30. The gentleman, Mr. Smart, who is working on that, has requested to meet with us, so I hope to send you out an update shortly after that. No action required, but I wanted you to be updated on that. I do need action on this, and that is we elected a vice mayor last time, and I need the council to go on record approving her to go on the signature cards and the financial arrangements at Wilson Bank and Trust. The bank has asked for that to be in the minutes, so of course I recommend that, because there may be times she needs to have to sign checks or whatever. I don't think I've ever missed a payroll, but now that I've said that, I probably will. Yes, Kate?
That we add Randy to the signature cards as required for role as vice mayor.
Motion made by Katie Smith to approve that. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Have a second from Laura Crum. Discussion? Okay. All in favor say aye. Aye. Unanimous. We just made Randy legal. Okay. She didn't pick up on it. Got some items of new business, nothing earth shattering. The last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, our yearly audit has been done by J.R. Poole out of Hendersonville. He has just completed the field work on this year's audit, or last year's audit, you stay a year behind. But he has asked to be approved again for the audit. He submitted a contract for the same price this year, and that's $5,500. I have no problem recommending that we contract with him. We do have to contract with somebody to do the audit, and he's done us a good job.
I make most of it.
Okay, we have a motion to continue with, Mr. Poole at the same price. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Motion carried unanimously. Brandon Howard also held a position on the Joint Economic and Community Development Board, which is a 19-member board of individuals from across the county, including governmental people, private industry people. Brandon's seat is the councilman's seat of the CDL, was the councilman's seat for the city of Watertown. It's known as position number 11. And we need, Tammy Stokes has asked me to have us select somebody to take that position, and I will tell you that they meet 4 times a year. They meet at 7:30 in the morning on the 4th Tuesday of the first month of the quarter, which means there is a meeting next Tuesday at 7:30 at the JCDB office. I can tell you, this meeting could be fairly entertaining. The general manager for the Nashville Super Speedway will be there to speak that day and talk about the races and the plans for the speedway. I'm on the radio that morning, so I won't be able to go. I'd like to hear him. But in any event, I guess I'm just trying to entice somebody to take that position. So who would like to hold that position? Don't everybody jump at once. Somebody's got to do it.
Well, I have VA appointments.
You what?
VA appointments. Yeah.
What about Miss Katie, since she's
What
very,
what did you say?
Veterans Administration
his
appointments.
VA appointment?
Oh, okay, I didn't know what you were saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Katie, you interested?
I think Katie would be good.
He says he has a VA appointment that morning. You hear me? Okay. You interested?
Not particularly, but I will do it if you need me.
Job's yours.
I think it'd be
I
good
vote
for her.
I vote for Katie.
Yeah.
I think.
I'll
Okay,
second
somebody
that.
make a motion. I believe you fixing to get elected, Katie. You know, you may want to give one of those, if nominated, I will not accept, if elected, I will not
I'll
serve.
make a motion.
Al made a motion that you have that position number 11. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Have a second from Jim. Katie, I will say this, I believe you'll find it interesting because GC goes over everything he's done for the previous quarter about what industries are, as he calls it, kicking tires, and what industries are pretty serious. And from time to time, they have a good speaker.
Can you
And
just
it's
see
usually over about.
What kind of
over
industries is it? Like,
I served on
It's
that
a
for a
big
few
one.
years.
I thought you
big
did.
company?
It's educational.
It is.
And the only reason I ask that is because in my profession, I tend to need, like, knowing about different industries and what's coming in the area does help with the CTE programs at the high school. So is that the kind of industries you're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about industries that may expand here or may relocate here. Wilson County is really a hot spot for that.
Absolutely, yes.
So it'll be interesting. Yes, Katie?
My only concern is whether they're masked, which I don't, or I have the option to attend remotely.
I'm pretty sure they don't wear well, let me back up on that. They might because I'm on the executive board. I'm the chairman of the executive board. That's 5 members. We meet once a month and we do wear masks.
where do they have the meetings? I'm sure they're very, I'm
At
sure
the
they're very.
JUCDB office, and it is out in the new City of Lebanon building adjacent to the airport.
I'm
is
sure
where-
they're distant.
It's, right behind the Home Depot. It's that, Okay.
If there's one of those options.
All right, tell you what we'll do. We'll elect you and then you find out what they're doing, and if you want to resign, we'll.
Can you tell me the name of that again?
It's the Joint
Joint.
Economic and Community Development Board of Wilson County.
CDB.
Yep.
And they used to have a good meal when we used to meet.
They're
about it
definitely,
could
they're
be
definitely on
beneficial.
top
Could
of
it
everything.
Could it be co-occupied? Like, could Laura and Katie both be that seat and attend every other meeting?
We could do that, or we could have an alternate, most likely, that would be the easiest thing to do,
Okay.
because they're gonna wanna know who to send the notice out to.
I got you.
I think we're gonna elect you and then.
Deal with it later.
Follow your heart.
Are you sure the alternate doesn't just want the position?
Well, I hadn't heard anybody volunteer for the alternate, and I'm afraid you're about to get away.
Volunteer for an alternate.
All in favor, say aye. All right, you're in now, aye. No, seriously, do what you feel comfortable with. If that doesn't work, let me know. They won't have another meeting till later.
Oh, well, you need to be on it then.
Okay,
I thought you said there was a meeting like next week.
next Tuesday, at 7:30 in the morning.
A whole bunch.
That's gross. Okay.
Let me give you a brief budget update. As you know, December 31 would have been halfway through the fiscal year. The city is in good shape financially. I'm pleased with the way our revenues have been coming in. Sales tax, local sales tax is strong. State sales tax is down a little bit, but our local is very strong, and as I put in an article, that's what I really look for, because that means our people here are selling product, because if we get a penny and an eighth off of a dollar, then that means about 90 cents of that dollar is going to our local merchant, or 91 cents. But the only thing that's down a little bit is water and sewer. We're at 46.7%. We're off about $20,700. I'm not sure why that is. Of course, we've got a couple of cold months here, so perhaps it'll pick back up when the spring gets here and people get out washing their cars and watering their gardens and watering their yards, or whatever. Everything else looks good. Our general fund revenues are at 70.3%. They ought to be at 50. And everything else looks pretty good. So unless you have questions about that, we try to send you these things so that you can look at them too. I want you to have the best information we can provide you.
I have a question about water and sewer, Mr. Mayor.
Okay?
Delinquent bills, are we still getting a lot of them?
We're getting a lot of them, and I hope that we're tightening that up.
I think the big problem is that we have a lot of rental property,
Yep.
and, with the rental property, they're here one day and gone the next.
Yep.
They pay the deposit and then they're gone. Is there some way that we could think about to recoup some of that money?
Yes, we pursued that, Jim, but I will tell you this. I have one right now that is running up about $750, and that is rental property, and the landlord is, we're not gonna approve water service to anybody else without building it. Now, we've got to do something to collect that.
I agree.
The
The
same
landlord,
35 or 40 show up every month on the delinquent. And we've got about, depending on the month, between 675 and 700 people that are getting water and sewer service here. And we have been probably too lenient in letting them have some time to pay. I know I'm gonna come across as a hard ankle for taking this hard position, but I want to let y'all know too, because, you get costs.
yes, I understand.
So I need you to support me on that. Now, let me say this too. If somebody calls me and the breadwinner has been in the hospital, and they say, I can pay this all in 2 weeks, I'm most likely gonna work with them. They didn't ask for that.
Right.
But when somebody comes into this, well, they can't come in here now, but if they come to the door and they're carrying a cell phone and they're smoking a cigarette, They probably don't want to get any person from me on water bill. Just because everybody else, if you don't pay your cell phone bill, they cut you out. You don't pay your electric bill, they just cut you out. So we're gonna, and there may be, we're gonna wait on the national kids the next 2 or 3 months. But that's gotta be done. We can't come in under budget because the state requires us, me especially, to finish in the light. And if we don't, I can call the national.
I understand that.
And I get chastised. So, I'm gonna watch it. It's my,
Well, normally, how far delinquent do you let it run? I know you got like a 10-day grace period on the bill, but after the 10 days, do you let it run for like 30 or 45 or?
we let it run too long, we probably need to revamp our policy again. I'm not trying to avoid that question. But let me tell it to it the way it is here this month. Water meters have been read. Bills will go out tomorrow. They'll be taken to the post office. You can pay them to the 10th of the month without penalty. Then between the 10th and the 20th, there's a 20% penalty. My standard's right. And then after the 20th, it's subject to being cut off. We let that go too long. And so this time, when it goes out on the bills, is the cutoff date is going to be February 2nd. So I'm urging people to pay those bills, if they're out there listening, pay those bills, and keep around a little bit on Facebook and the ladies out, because of people say the city of Watertown doesn't work with you. City of Watertown works with people a lot,
And
more
help,
than we should.
I hate to interrupt, but I know several years ago, and by several, 3, 4, 5, I know that we put in an ordinance that we would not cut off if it was below a certain temperature.
32 degrees.
And I know we've been below that some.
Mhm.
And I, just to let you know that we did that, and I think that's a great thing, and I don't think we should change it. But, you know, we're in those months right now, and if we've been below those temperatures, then we allow for grace for those people. So
I was gonna say the
just
same thing.
wanted to throw that in, yeah.
When I have made a deal with somebody, when I say made a deal, I don't want to give away anybody publicly, I'm not going to do that. But the people that have had a tough time, and that's verifiable, I have worked with them. But I expect them to keep their end of the deal.
Sure.
And here lately, that has not happened. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. And I've been fooled on twice. Okay. Now, having said that, I bet I get a case tomorrow or something.
Sure. It's very hard to umbrella everybody.
It is.
Yeah.
And I try to be reasonable, but, you know. Let me just say this, we got home with some bills, at least one substantial bill the last couple of weeks, at a time when the stimulus checks went out. And that bill couldn't be paid. That money was somewhere else, not here. Now, I'm sorry, but that's, people elected us to take care of the money.
After you cut the water off, what's it cost to have it cut back off?
$50, reconnection.
I thought it had to be a fee somewhere.
Yeah, and it would suit me fine. If we never had to charge the 20% and we never had to charge the $50, because that means we're getting the money in on time. And these ladies don't have to spend their time trying to talk on the phone, work with somebody, that type of thing. We spend way too much time doing it. So hopefully we'll tighten it up, and I'll tell you, very honestly, I've given this speech before. I've given this speech before, and probably no one else. Hopefully we'll do better this time. Anyway, that's the budget update.
So what, let's go back to, so whenever a renter does leave, so what are you saying? You're not gonna let anybody else rent that house until that's paid, or
That's
kind of
my
what you're
thing.
thinking?
And certainly somebody that never would sell $145 bill. Yeah, I made it work.
How do you impose that on
I'm
the
not
other?
sure.
I mean, it's kind of like a lien, but But how do you exercise that?
It'll be interesting to see.
Okay.
I mean, 'cause I can
Got the
see where
city
people are coming and
charter,
going.
excuse me.
I mean, I can see where people are coming and going. They're there, like you said, they're there one day and gone the next, and I got no way to do anything except send the water bill back here.
That's it.
What are we doing, charging the property owner or trying to get the money from the,
Mayor Katie has a question for you.
Okay. Go ahead, Pat.
what, are we trying to get the money from the renter or the property owner?
What I'm saying is, we're not gonna take water on somewhere, we don't care where the money comes from, we don't take.
Okay.
That's my position.
Do we have the right to keep that water, unconnected, disconnected for a future renter until the bill's paid?
It'll be interesting to see.
Okay, okay.
Well, wouldn't
Yes,
it,
Kate. Thank-
Which tells me that it's also not coming across the historic record on YouTube.
Okay. We were talking about delinquent water bill customers, what the process is, how we've kind of strayed from the process, and now how do we get that back in shape? That's an overall summary. Now, there's been a lot said around the table. Yes. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be what the deposit's for?
Well,
Like,
we took the deposit.
no, I mean, like, most of the time when you rent something, if it's $1,000 a month rent, it's $1,000 a month upfront deposit.
We get $150.
You're talking about
She
from the
means
house?
those-
No,
Deposit
I'm
to
talking
the-
about
to
to
the
the
house.
landlord. The landlord gets $1,000, so couldn't you hold the landlord responsible for that too? And let them go to the lawsuit with it?
Y'all keep throwing that question at me, and my answer.
I know.
It would be interesting
I'm going to see.
Okay,
Okay?
we'll
I'll
see.
check it out.
I'm going to see. Yes. Oh, they keep throwing at me, can't we hold the landlord responsible, and if so, how? And my response is, we're gonna see. I hope I don't have to. I hope people out there listen. Because if they make a deal with somebody, and then they can't get the water turned on, I know what I do. I fix it. But we'll see. Okay. I'm gonna move on, y'all.
Yes.
Thank you. Only other thing I'll report to you is it's no secret that our roads, our streets are in bad shape. It's no secret that our sidewalks are in bad shape. I have reached out today through Ray Render of Congressman Rose's office. I've reached out to Michael Skipper of the Greater Nashville Regional Council. And I've reached out to Senator Bodie and Representative Clark Boyd and asked for their help in locating grants or funding for streets and sidewalks. Now, my first obligation would be streets, obviously. And I haven't heard back from anybody, and in fairness to them, I said to them today. I worked all day pretty much all day on city stuff. So I sent that out, and I hope I get some responses. I hope someone from the Greater Nashville Regional Council will come and visit, or at least have a Zoom discussion on how we might go about this. So I've opened that door anyway. It's not over very wide, but I've opened the door. That's just for your information. Next month's meeting would be, February 16th. That's the third Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Tell me, you folks that follow and get to go to the ball games, is that district tournament time, or is there any conflict there, I guess?
I'll look. Take me a second.
Or you get to go on?
They took me off the Google Calendar.
I mean, Pop's not getting to go either, right? Oh.
No, he's watching it online. What's the date?
16th.
February 16th.
I'll mom and daddy's wedding anniversary.
Yeah, we will be in districts then.
District.
We'll be in districts.
We'll play it later. Where's
We
the
can't
district
go.
gonna be? Well, if we can't go, then I can do it. All right. February 16th, 6 o'clock. See you then. I didn't have any other information. Katie, you may be able to help me with this. Is there something going on around Valentine's Day? Is there Valentine's Day train?
I am not participating in trains and events, and I have stopped going to the Chamber of Commerce meetings, so maybe we need a representative. Because I think we shouldn't be doing it, and so I'm not participating.
Okay. Well, I've got a meeting with the chamber president Thursday morning, so I'll ask those questions. Hang on a second, I need to get the stuff this way. No, that's county stuff. Okay, that's all I have tonight. I'm gonna go around the table and everybody's moved around, so I'm just gonna start over here. That's where I always start.
Yeah, starting out, I don't have anything.
All right, Jim?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I know that we had a lot of work that needed to be done to the sewer system, and how are we standing on that with finances and, getting that done? And I think COVID slowed it down a lot.
It has slowed it down. I've had an email within the last week from our consultant needing some information from me, and I'll get that to him as soon as I can. Our application for funding is with the State Revolving Loan Fund. I think that's RLF, I think I quoted that right. And we are certainly eligible to get that. There'll be some match to it, I think, but we have accumulated some money too to hopefully deal with that. But they're waiting on me to do a couple of little things.
So, we're gonna fix the sewers first, and then we're gonna fix the roads. Is that the plan?
No, well, the plan is, of course, to fix the sewer, because we've got to get that done.
Yeah, that's state-
2025. But my thought on the roads was just try to find some money somewhere, start trying to turn over rocks.
We don't need to do the roads till we do the water,
I don't think there's any doubt.
because we're gonna just cut right across them.
I don't think there's gonna be, I mean, I'm not looking for anybody to call me tomorrow and say, hey, I got you $1 million. If we do, we'll work.
I'd like to see it happen, but
I will.
it's not going to.
We'll have to have that problem. If we get that problem, I'll call y'all back in a second, we'll deal with it. What else, Jim?
That's it, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Laura?
One of the things with the roads is, that was on mine, was the railroad tracks. Seems to be some of the bumpiest spots. And is that us, or is that the railroad?
Railroad.
So what can we do to have them try to help level that out? These side roads are just horrible.
I will pass that along at our railroad meeting Thursday at 1 o'clock to the folks from RJ Corman.
I mean,
I will tell you, this is no excuse for here. I will tell you that, there are worse spots. I went over some in Putnam.
oh, I'm not
Smith County.
denying that.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that, but that would go a long way
Sure.
by helping those,
I'll spread that with
correcting those.
RJ Corman people Thursday. Question, Katie, was about the bumpy railroad tracks here in town. Laura asked that question, what can we do about it? And I told her I would take that concern to the railroad meeting Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
The worst one is behind Mike Hunter's.
Yeah.
Coming out there.
Yes.
That one.
And we tore that up, you remember, for a project that never was done, and it never was fixed back.
Well, I'll give you a little history on that, okay? Bill Johnson wanted that street closed.
Yes,
Railroads always want to cross and shut down because it's potential liability.
yeah.
So Bill Johnson wanted that closed. And so when he was last 3 or 4 years here, he didn't do any work on it. He kept telling me it needs to be closed, and I said, Bill, you go home tonight, I gotta live here. We're not gonna close it. So I'll say something to Corbin, I've not talked to him about
They wanted that one closed, and the one that's, comes out by the post office.
Yeah,
They
that one.
closed that one, yeah.
it.
That was
a big
dangerous.
thing, Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so narrow there, 2 cars couldn't pass.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That was bad. You know, we closed it temporarily, but it's still closed.
My other, I have 2 more things. One is, I talked to Miss Lisa last week, or last month, I guess, about updating the website. And we decided to wait to see the new position that was filled tonight, but it still had Mr. Nix on there.
Yeah,
And so, like, I know when Mr. Casey was trying to reach out to us, he didn't know how to get a hold of us, our emails or phone numbers or anything. So I would like to see that updated.
Katie, the point being made by Laura is updating our website with current members, emails and that type of thing. We also need to get some new city stationery printed, and we'll do that. But now that we have a full complement of the board, we'll do that.
This is something that I was gonna talk about also, so can I go ahead and
Sure.
follow up on yours? Can you tell me, exactly what is required from us as public information? I know we're elected officials and our lives are public and there's no way around that, but what is required for us as published data?
I don't know that anything is required. You can just put your name on there if you choose.
Okay,
You know,
of course, I don't mind being accessible.
Yeah, you don't have to put any personal identifiable information on there if you don't want on there.
So whatever contact information that we would like, we need to get
Yes.
to the ladies tonight so that when it's updated, that can be published.
Yes, we're talking about what information is required to go on there, Katie, and nothing is required that I know of. But however you wish to be contacted or people to contact you, let the ladies know and they can get that information out there. That's what Randy was saying, and that's a good idea.
I think all we have to do is send the information to Colette and Michael because they're the ones that are updating that page. And they have also said that they would be happy if we sent them the minutes, to put the minutes there.
Okay. All right, we
But
can do that.
they don't know to ask. They're not going to reach out for it. We have to push the information to them.
Okay. Well, the ladies are here tonight and they're hearing this, so we will send the information over to them and we'll also send a copy of the minutes that were approved tonight. We can do that because we're also putting them in the edge. So I certainly have no problem with people having access to the government. But you individually, how you wish to be contacted or not contacted, you let them know so we can let Michael and Colette know that. But I'm gonna do some new stationery. We hadn't had any in a while, because there's been some turbulence in our number, of course. So we'll get some new stationery printed, and I suspect Michael and Colette can take care of that too.
I think so.
I prefer to do it with them locally.
Okay.
Yes,
My
ma'am,
last,
back to you.
okay, my last thing is, whenever I, was elected, I got on to read our charter and realized that the last thing that was updated is 1996, was the most recent charter that I found through the state of Tennessee. And I know that there's been things that have been passed and updated since then. And so where can that be found? Is that something we could put on our website? Because, I mean, especially as a member, I feel like I need to know what's the most up to date. But if someone has a question, like I even got a question about, can I run? I live at this spot. Well, per our charter, it was kind of misleading. So I would personally like an updated one, but I would like for it to be easily found too.
Okay.
So,
I don't know that I can fix that totally tonight, but she's asking about the chart, and it had not been updated since 1996. That may not sound as bad as it sounds, okay? It may not be as bad. The charter is the constitution of the city of Watertown.
correct.
So it doesn't get changed very often at all, and if it does, it has to come out of the legislature. So if we send something down there and they approve it, then it changes the charter. Now, what's behind that charter is all our city ordinances, and that hasn't been updated in several years. I don't think it goes back to 96. Perhaps it does. But those do need to be updated. And MTS will do that for us. We have to get in line There's usually about a year's wait to do that, but they can't do anything until we gather up all the ordinances and give them to them. So, we'll go to work on that, but don't get too alarmed about the charter, because the charter was passed in 1937,
Right.
and there hadn't been too many changes to it.
It was about that thick.
Yeah, you talk about the ordinance book and everything.
Yeah, I got a copy of it.
Yeah, I'd like for everybody to have a copy, and I was just thinking about that. There's a copy here, I've got one, Jim just gave it away, he's got one. I'll see if we can get some copies.
Because even like the ordinance, I would like to know when somebody asks me a question,
Yeah.
if
I
I
think
can
that's-
just go to that book and find it, that's what, as a council member, I should do before I then have to come to you.
Well, I'll put you a step in there between that, go to those ladies right there, because they'll have the books in there. But I don't mind looking it up for you. Most of the time, I need something to call me. I said, please pull something for me.
Okay.
Hey, I just come over here and ask.
Okay, let's see. We'll see what we can do. You got a copy of the charter, Katie? Okay.
Downloaded it from the internet and printed it for myself. And
Okay.
also, I also printed the ordinances from MTS.
Where did she find the ordinance? Because I've got the charter, I downloaded it.
Laura's asked where you found the ordinances.
I don't know, it's been like 4 or 5 years, but I
think it's
looked.
impasse.
I think it's MTS too.
Yeah. And you have to go to the city and then, you have to hunt back a little bit, but it's there, I think. Now, how it's not updated, I can tell you that.
Yeah. I know there was a couple places where it says that the councilman will serve 2-year terms.
Yeah.
So it's
That
got
changed.
some discrepancies here and there, yeah.
That is, come to think of it, that is probably the last charter change we had. Because everybody used to run 2 years at the same time. And we got to thinking one night, if people get mad at us, which is entirely possible, or mad at any 6, every one of us can sell. Every one of us can be voted out, and you got new people coming in and they're looking around saying,
What do we do now?
what do we do now? What did we do last time? And what's still on the table?
Well, it clearly reads that the text of this charter set out herein includes all its amendments through 2019 session of Tennessee General Assembly. So it's dated 2019.
Okay, good.
But the wording in there has not been updated in 2019.
Right.
It's several years out on some of its wording, yeah.
What we did is to get it on the stagger so that you could elect a mayor and 3 councilmen and then 3 more in 2 years, we converted to one 3-year term. And then we went to 4-year terms. And the people of this community accepted that greatly, because I remember at that time, the city of Lebanon was trying to do something similar, and there was a big brouhaha over that. They thought somebody was trying to take
It
advantage.
boiled down to the cost that we were funding for the election every 2 years.
Yeah, and it
That's
used
what
to
it
be,
boiled down to. what it
used to be
cost
the
the
first
city.
Saturday in December right here. and-
Right, and it was costing the city a bundle, and you'd have,
We made a great decision because there were some times we had an election when we 75 people vote on first Saturday in December. This last time we had 560 something people vote.
right.
So we, plus the state and county paper. Okay, good question. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Ms. Christie? Whoa, Katie, I'm sorry. You're in the middle.
After the earnings for sale.
He said you need to unmute yourself. Yeah.
I did. Okay, so the first thing I would ask, this is gonna be a situation for a while at least. Can we please find a way to mic all the participants that are gonna be there in person so that their statements, comments, and questions make it into the record, and so that people who are trying to attend remotely can hear what's going on?
Let me ask my IT guy.
I actually have a couple proposals for that, and I've been trying to get them out for a while, we just haven't had time to do it. I have them now, if you'd like to see them, but we haven't
You understand what Katie's asking? That
Yes.
we mic up everybody so
Yes.
that everybody can be
And
heard.
I have 2 proposals ready, bids, everything's put together to do it. I just need approval.
Okay, tell me about it.
So we have 2 approvals. One of the approvals is for a wireless setup. One approval is for a wired setup. The wireless setup is going to run us $247.59, and this does not include tax. That will give each council member a wireless microphone that will connect to the computer, runs off a 9-volt battery, and y'all will be able to mute yourselves and unmute yourselves as necessary. Then we have a second bid for wireless mic, not wireless, wired mics. It's a little bit more expensive at, well, not a little bit, it's more expensive at $450. It uses wired microphones instead of the same style of microphone, it's not wireless, to be put in front of each council member, able to unmute and mute themselves. It just gives me more control over how loud each person is.
All right, Katie, I guess you didn't hear that.
Not a word.
Okay. Grant has 2 proposals. One is a wireless proposal that will allow each one of us to speak and hear each other at $247.25. Or he can do a wired microphone for each of us at $450.
I'm not sure I understand. So,
I'm just repeating what I heard.
right, but I
don't
have a
understand
follow-up
that
question.
word.
Right. No, I'm not saying I don't understand how it works. So if you're wireless, are people getting the audio feedback from what I'm saying to your computer coming into their wireless, or is it just a wireless microphone?
So, and I'll speak up a bit. Can you hear me now, Katie?
Can Grant come around behind you maybe and talk?
Yeah, come around and take the chair here. Except I'm not gonna get up.
Wait.
Right, where are we gonna go? Yeah, Katie, speak.
Okay, Katie, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can hear you great.
Okay, so we have 2 bids set up, one for wireless microphones and one for wired microphones. Have you been to a Lebanon board meeting or Wilson County Schools Board of Education meeting? They have microphones in front of each member of the county, one on the stand for a public speaker. And all it does
Sure.
is it takes either a wired mic or a wireless mic and brings it over into our streaming computer so the public can hear what each council member is saying. It will improve the current 2 microphones plus one that I got especially for Mike, so that the public can hear as well as the ladies for the minutes.
Well, but it doesn't, how is it hearing me there? Can everybody hear what I'm saying?
Yes, and that is done on the streaming computer. All we do is window capture the Zoom meeting and audio capture the Zoom meeting. So everything.
No, but like, can Brandy hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
Absolutely. I can hear you really well.
The issue with you not being able to hear everyone is we're using 2 cheaper microphones that we got towards the beginning of last year. And the only reason we're using the ones we have now is it's all the city could find at the time. Because that was right when the pandemic first started. And people were
Sure.
first starting to do that working from home. That was the problem that arose.
So you're telling me that the wireless microphone solution is $247 total or per person?
So that both prices are all inclusive with all the necessary parts and equipment needed.
Can the
ups-
internet in the city building handle that efficiently?
Yes, it won't add much more load to the computer than it already has. The upside to the wired mics is it gives me more control over each microphone.
And we don't have to worry about
I-
batteries.
And we don't have to worry about batteries. Batteries will always be a adding cost
Long-term.
over time.
Absolutely,
9-volt.
absolutely. And wired mics are gonna be less likely to have delays and that kind of stuff. That'll be really awkward.
Correct.
And you said how much for the wired proposal?
$450.
And that handles a microphone at every seat
Yes,
plus a microphone should we want to have the public back there.
yes.
So that long term, we can be capturing the meetings video forever, even when we join back together, all of us.
Correct.
And I'm okay with it.
I move that we buy the wired microphones and implement them ASAP.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Got a motion and a
Thank you,
second by
Grant.
Laura Cromer to purchase the wired, whatever has to go with it, I'm just gonna call it wired. $450, I don't think that's
We good with
bad
the
investment at all.
budget? Is good with that? We're good with the budget with that.
Oh, yeah, we got it. Okay, discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Unanimous. Now, let me follow up on that, and I'll come back to you, Katie. We will be in this status at least next month. The governor's order is through February 27th. Now, having said that, I have every reason to believe that will be extended because the courts were shut down through the end of January or whatever, couldn't have jury trials, couldn't have in-person stuff except for emergencies. The Supreme Court has already extended that to the end of March. So I would not be surprised to see this go another month or two after that. But right now, we know at least next month we'll have a meeting this way and we can try out all of our stuff. How quickly can you get that?
Depends on shipping right now, I'd have to look into that.
Well, we could have it by February 16th?
Should be able to, yes, sir.
Okay. He thinks we can have it by February 16th. I'm back to you. Oh, I would envision us using it from now on, so that people can watch and see what's going on. So I think it's a great idea. I don't have any problem with that at all. Depending on how good the microphones are, just be careful what you say.
Mayor, we have a select thing of public business from Tammy Paradise.
I answered her.
Oh, okay.
You can go ahead and read it then.
Okay. She was requesting that we get with the chief and possibly have more patrols during the school zone times on West Main Street. During those times, people are flying adult teenagers. It is not safe for kids while walking. I think she's just saying that.
Okay,
people are-
you responded.
Yes, and
Okay.
they had also talked about like crossing guards and stuff, and so I let her know that that's not a city thing.
Well, we've been doing the high school, and I was told the school system would have one after we all went back in January, but Darian Brown contacted me today, said we didn't have anybody
I
over.
haven't seen one.
So, didn't have anybody over there conducting traffic at the high school. And my understanding was the school system was gonna take that over after the Christmas break. I'll be following up on that too.
I thought there was some training done for somebody.
Yeah, it's supposed to be at the meeting also. We got a request from the public asking that we do more patrolling in the school zone on Main Street specifically. But then, just came in, yes, yes. Sure, I'm ready. Yeah. That's come up from time to time, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, Kate. It's just something I'll have to look into. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for you.
Well, I wonder if we ultimately should release the truck. Because the reason that the chamber stopped using it is because it was maintained, compliant, we were having issues around that. But I shouldn't see it sit there and fall apart.
Okay, I'll see what I can find out. Like I said, I just don't have an answer for you.
Do you want me to ask all of these companies?
Certainly.
Okay.
We thought about putting it over in the old bay over here at the old city hall, but it's too big.
Right, it's tall.
Yeah,
Who owns the trolley?
we do.
So that, I will ask him that, I made a note.
Okay?
And I'll let you know. And
No updates on it. I will tell you, I asked Lisa to get me copies of the minutes for the last year, and I'm trying to figure out everything that's still open-ended and try to deal with them one at a time. Not the least of which is we need a sign out here in front of the city hall, and I'm gonna try to talk to Pat and Don sometime between now and February. I just need time to sit down with them. I've got some ideas. I think they're gonna tell me that I got Cadillac ideas and Chevrolet money, but we'll see. We had made progress on that. Sorry. Is that it? Okay. Reese?
I'm good.
Vice Mayor?
Good, we talked about all my stuff already, so I'm good.
Grant, you got anybody else on there wants to talk?
No, sir.
How many people do we have on there?
We have had a total of 28 playbacks, 28 people have put it on video to watch it at some point in time.
They may not stay on there the whole time, but some won't.
They average about 20 minutes of watching. We've been at it for an hour and 30
Yeah,
minutes.
that's about all the
20
time.
minutes, yeah.
Which is why we need the microphones though.
We do need the microphone.
I
think
tried
that
to
may be
watch
the
it
best
for-
investment we made tonight.
Yeah.
And, you know, we talked a couple of years ago, or I talked anyway, about getting a better recording system before COVID hit, because we were using a 1970s tape recorder. And so this will take care of it, so,
And it's hard to find our meetings on YouTube. That's another thing, maybe Colette and them could just link it on the website, because, you know, it took 10 minutes every
And this-
meeting for me to go in to
When
try to
does your
find it.
next, letter go out? That may be something we can
And this
say,
could
is
be-
that we purchased these microphones.
I've got one going out, I gotta do it Friday. It'll be out next week, that's good.
I'm not trying to be what to do,
And this
No, I
but
appreciate
that might be a good way to get the, hey, we know we've got this problem with 28 people, that's great, that could double.
it. It is.
And Mayor, this can be a discussion for another time, not tonight, because.
He's ready to
go. Starting the Facebook page would also be helpful.
I have thought about that.
But
I'm out on that one.
You read some of the stuff that's on Facebook.
yeah, our fire department beat us to Facebook before the city got one, so.
Yeah. You
We
know,
do have, our city has one, just not the council. But our Watertown community has one, yes.
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
We're talking about having a Facebook.
That thing is.
Facebook might be a good thing to have.
But the city of Watertown does have one.
Hip Watertown?
No, it's called the City of Watertown Community. And anytime I want something on there, I've always just sent it to Katie or Kim Bastola, and it magically goes on there.
Well, I know that Kim Costello won't take over that.
I don't know who does it. At one point in time, I heard the librarian had something to do with it.
I don't know, y'all started talking about Lincoln and all that stuff, you know,
But-
we're talking Greek.
But it's, I mean, when we have important stuff or something going on at the high school that I want out to the community,
Yeah.
I send it to the important people in town that I know communicates. Ms. Hahn is really good at getting community things out there, and it magically somehow gets on the Watertown Community website or Facebook page.
Yeah,
All right.
we're not talking to that.
Kim does Watertown.
Do what, Grant?
We're not tied to that, but we'll
I
discuss
think,
that.
hey, I think Kim does Watertown Exchange.
She does something else too.
I don't know, but I know that.
Okay, I think we're done, unless y'all
She
got
knows
something
that-
else to come up.
Motion to
Mr.
adjourn.
Mayor, second it.
Okay, motion is second adjourned. All in favor, get up and go home. Thank you for attending, thank you for out there in TV land, computer land, Facebook land.